Hello and welcome to the annual Hart Men's Lacrosse Media Day. I'm your host and Hart correspondent, Reagan Harrell. Next up, we are joined by first-year head coach of the Missouri Valley College Vikings, head coach John Milani, and junior Jake Lipscomb. Coach Jake, thank you so much for joining us. How are y'all two doing today?
Doing good, doing good. Pretty good.
Awesome. Coach, you're a former player for the Vikings, now lead the program as the head coach. How excited are you for this opportunity, and what does it mean to you to be the coach of the Vikings?
Oh, I can't even really explain it in words. Just the opportunity to hopefully build back to where we were when I was a player here and give these kids the opportunities that I got and just all the resources and, cool gear that I got when I was here. We're going to try to implement all that so we can get the same talent out here, but also get the guys to buy into what I'm trying to build here so we can change this culture and be that family we were when we were here.
Well,
And
Coach,
I'm,
please.
I'm excited as anything.
I bet. I mean, anytime you're first year coach, but especially back at your alma mater, man, I imagine you're real excited to get started this year. Man, Coach, please introduce us to Jake. Tell us a little bit about him, how much he means to your program this year.
So this year, just being that we are going through a coaching change and we lost a lot of guys due to the transfer portal, we gained a lot of new faces. So I just building the chemistry, having a guy like Jake, who's a leader out there on the field and off the field. He does everything right in the books. He keeps the guys motivated, even though we might have a little bit rougher practice because of the IQ level not being there, the stick skills not being there. He keeps everybody down to earth and just playing the game that we all love. It's not necessarily a drill sergeant, but he's out there doing what he needs to do to keep everybody buying in and getting better and doing the little things to keep getting better and taking steps every single day, which as a coach is making me fired up even more and makes me want to do my job even better, getting the guys here so Jake can have a better year next year and building the guys up this year. It means I couldn't do it without him this year and having somebody in the pipes for you where we might face 30 shots in a game, and I got my number one here who's going to stop 28 of those.
Excuse me, Jake. Something you and I are both having in common. Grew up in Southeast U.S. I'm originally from South Georgia. You hail from Boiling Springs, South Carolina. My apologies, Boiling Springs, South Carolina. Then I ended up in Jeff City, Missouri, going to college there for a couple of years. You're obviously with the Vikings program, but tell us a little bit about Boiling Springs, South Carolina, and how did you end up playing the sport of lacrosse?
I started out playing baseball, and then one day, a bunch of my buddies and their dad, they started the program, like the youth program, when I was about like 13. And, you know, we didn't have a goalie or anything. And they said, why don't you go ahead and try? Because I was a catcher, went in, loved it. I couldn't get past all the bruises. I mean, like, it just felt right. I mean, it was I'm used to building up programs kind of like that's what I came here for. I mean, I knew the program wasn't where it used to be, and it was kind of being rebuilt, and it still is. You know, we've had a lot of hardships, and just like I can relate to all the things going on here that I had to like deal with in high school and youth association and stuff.
Yeah, I think no matter what it is, whether if it's soccer, lacrosse, hockey, you gotta have a little bit different mindset if you're going to be a goalie. You know you're going to get those bumps and bruises. Jake, tell us a little bit about yourself outside of lacrosse. What's your major and what are some of your career goals?
I'm a history education major. I wanna teach history, high school education, and then I want to coach lacrosse. I mean, that's pretty much it.
You're a lacrosse guy. You've been in all your life. Want to stay in it, like your coach. Coach, let's talk about this year's team. Said you have a lot of transfers. Who are some other guys coming back that are going to be leaders in year one for you?
We got guys like Carson. He'll be a huge contributor on the offensive side, kind of our quarterback down there. He knows what we kind of did last year and where we want to go this year with the offense, and he's already taken those steps. I mean, we installed offense the other day, and just hearing him yell out all the calls and all the plays is going to be huge because we got other guys, Varro, who are going to step up immensely. I mean, just the stuff that I saw from coming in alumni weekend last year to this year. I mean, Jake can tell you too, his shot has gotten 1,000 times better, and that's without any coaching or tutelage. He's just been working on it himself. So those guys are going to be huge. Then we have a couple of defensemen in Costa and Tyler who right now are our backbone, and they're setting the tempo. They're not letting guys get off easy. They're And when they're sliding with body, they're making sure their presence is known. So we have pieces where I got to do my job as a coach now and just put the puzzle together and hopefully pull the right strings, push the right buttons to where this year we can be competitive and maybe surprise some people.
Who are some newcomers, younger players that are going to step up and have a big role for the team this year?
So we got a couple transfers in. Gino will be huge this year for us, along with guys like we got a guy named Simp. He's been tearing it up. He switched over from baseball, just a huge athlete, and it looks like he's going to be a day one starter penciled in already. We got another baseball guy in Aiden who's, I mean, dude's picked up the long pole and it's like another arm for him. It's like natural, and he knows all the footwork from baseball. He's just implementing it now into the lacrosse field to where he's going to be penciled in as a day one starter. And it's awesome. We found a lefty and a guy who was a baseball guy coming over. So being able to put him down on attack, I know Carson's already come into my office and been like, "Oh, hey, you found me my lefty. Thank you, coach." I'd go to work from there. And it's just watching all these guys go out there and have fun every day too. They're all, some of them, the new guys, they're all just picking up sticks. Some of them have been doing it for a little while. And they're all just improving to where you wouldn't even know they weren't lacrosse players at this point.
Nice, Coach. You've been a coach at the high school and club level. Can you talk about the growth of the sport that you've seen in the region and across the country?
Oh man, it's tremendous. I always grew up in the hotbed of lacrosse, being in Maryland, from Baltimore, Maryland. So I started playing the game, I think, at 5. You play t-ball first because you're not old enough to play lacrosse. And then once your first year t-ball's over, you go right into lacrosse. And just seeing the amount of teams that have come to Maryland. When I was younger, you might see one out-of-state team come in. Now when I'm coaching these club teams in the summer, I mean, you're playing teams from all over, that it's awesome to see that the game's grown. And I mean, I had one of my college coaches who's coaching a Missouri summer team. He was out in Maryland this week or this summer, to where the month before he came in, I was like, "Hey, if you need a place to stay, you know, our basement, we got it. It's all finished for whoever." And he ended up staying that weekend, the whole tournament, coaching some, I don't even know the team, but it's just great to see familiar faces. Like, the lacrosse world is such a small world that once you start getting into it, you can be in Missouri, you can be in Maryland. It all kind of coincides and everybody's working together to grow the game, which is awesome to see.
Absolutely, Coach. This is year 2 in the Heart of America conference. That year 2 is the Heart has sponsored lacrosse. How important is it that the sport have more and more conferences pick up the sport?
Oh, it's huge, because then you just continue to see, not even on the athletic side, you'll see that there's the opportunity for more kids, more players to go to college, to get those scholarships that give them the opportunity to be able to go to college and potentially come out of college with very little student loans, where that's huge nowadays. Because, I mean, I still have buddies in college who they're paying $60,000 still, and they're 10 years out of college, where it's like, Jesus, I couldn't have imagined where my life would be right now if I had those loans hanging over my head right now, to where just these conferences picking up and putting more teams out there. Like, it's more important to me than in the book side, that these kids are getting this opportunity to get a 4-year degree so their futures are set up. Lacrosse is just an added benefit. They get to go out there and do the passion and the thing they love on top of getting that degree. It means the world. Every program should be looking into lacrosse because it's such a fun game. And then on top of it, if you get 2 sport athletes, like we have wrestlers, power lifters, baseball players on our team this year, it'll help them in every other sport they play, where you learn your footwork a little bit better. For baseball, they're going to learn that hand-eye coordination a little bit better, because now they're not catching it with their hand, they're catching it with an extended head and the stick and everything. So just getting that extra opportunity, I think a lot more programs should look into it if they don't have lacrosse yet. And I think they should look into getting into a conference.
Jake, talk to us a little bit about this year's team. How much have you enjoyed practicing with them and just being around them on and off the field?
Honestly, we have a good group of guys. I mean, we're just getting together and we're still learning each other and filling each other out, you know. But I mean, there's a lot to look forward to. I mean, we're gonna have a fun season regardless of what happens. We're gonna go out there, give it our all, and I think everybody's balled in pretty much to try and putting everything into it that they have. I mean, it's really interesting how we all are coming together and doing pretty well with that.
Very nice. And like we talked about, different team, first year head coach. Are there some fun things you guys have done off the field for some team bonding experiences, Jake?
Yeah, we get together and like this weekend, I think we're gonna have people over to watch some lacrosse games and stuff at my house, and just we try to get together as much as we can, just to build some chemistry off field.
We hold a study hall too, Monday and Wednesday from 7 to 9, where first 30 minutes to an hour they're getting their homework done. But as soon as they're done their homework, I tell them it's kind of a film session. But I mean, honestly, it's just to get those knuckleheads in a room together to where they can bounce ideas off each other. Hey, let's all go hang out here tomorrow night, or let's do this. It's just another opportunity for them to grow off the field, because you can be the best team on the field, but if you don't have that chemistry and that family bond, you're not going to go out there into battle as hard as you should, unless you really care about that guy next to you, where you're risking everything for him, not even for yourself anymore. And that's what I'm trying to get these guys to buy into, and get to that family culture. Like when I was here, doing everything together, walking to classes together, everything.
Very nice. Jake, what are some goals that you and the rest of the team have discussed for this season?
I mean, realistically, just because we lost a lot of people, we have a lot of new guys. Our goal is to go out there and give it everything we have. We don't have any. We have expectations for the season, but it's more lackadaisical than usual. We really want to get out there and show people that we got something cooking and we can do a little something with what we have. Kind of just push each other and just try to be the best teammate we can be.
Coach, regular season's right around the corner. What do you hope to see from your squad in these upcoming non-conference games against St. Mary and Ottawa?
I just want to see them play the game of lacrosse at the best ability they can. I don't care if they're making mistakes, if they're making them at 120%. As a coach, I'm going to be pumped out there. Just getting them out there and having fun, that's all that's going to matter in these first couple games, because, I mean, we don't have any film on ourselves yet. So, like, we got to take the first game with a grain of salt. We could go out there and get a butt whooping. We could go out there and surprise some teams and hang with them. But until we get that film, we won't be able to make that big room of improvement yet. So they just got to go out there and have fun and play the game that we've been teaching them the last couple of weeks, to where win or lose, they're ready to go for the next game. That one's already out of their mind. Let's break down the film and just keep getting better. It's all about having fun this year. I know we're going to have a little bit tougher going. Jake said it himself. We kind of got not necessarily a lackadaisical expectation. I got some high expectations, but we also know that you got to be realistic with your goals, or they can get out of hand real fast. You could go 0-2 or 0-3, to where those goals are no longer obtainable and you kind of check out. So we do have our realistic goals, and I mean, we all just want to put ourselves back on the map. Even if that means just being in every game, we might lose most of them, so be it. But if we're in 4 to 5 goal games and not getting completely torn out like we did the last couple of years, that'll help not only the guys buy in, but the recruits buy in, and kind of see the changes that are coming. Because, I mean, I've been around lacrosse my whole life. I just need to get the guys here, and I think we could really get something brewing. And it all starts with guys like this, because right now the boat's sinking, and if Jake weren't here to do stuff that he's doing to help get this going, I mean, I owe him everything right now, because, I mean, I'm an alumnus, and just what he's doing for this program, he doesn't even know that what he's doing and how much it means to me, because I want to come back here and be able to play him next year in the alumni game and not be his coach next year, and keep getting to do that. Because, I mean, that's how we first connected and bonded I was an alumnus. He was a goalie. I like to talk a little smack when I'm out there on the field, and you best believe I 5-holed him in the alumni game last year. So I want to be able to continue to be able to do that in every year. And then sooner or later, when he graduates, he's now back on my team. And the things that he's doing, and the guys that he had to also call to get to stay, and the things that he's doing, like, the alumni are fully behind him. The guys that I've talked to, like, we couldn't do it without him this year. So it's really him.
Well, Coach, sounds like you have a great plan for building up the Viking lacrosse program again. I'm sure everybody there at Missouri Valley is really excited to see that continue to build. But Coach Jake, thank you so much for your time today, and good luck this season.
Thank you so much. Have a good rest of your day.